Today is July 9th, 2025. Yesterday, on the 8th, we were really busy. Carl had things to do, I did. And then I went over and picked up my grandson Daniel, took him to Bob Evans in Maslin. We're sitting in there. He's like, I've never been in here. I said, yes, you have. Just a few years ago. Grandpa and I used to take you here. We had Easter dinner. The whole family went. Uncle Josh, he was assistant manager. He's looking around. He looked out the window. He said, I remember looking out those windows. And he started smiling. He said, I have been in here. I said, yeah, just a few years ago. He's so lost and hurt of everybody being dead and gone, or Dave taken off, or these people like Dixie running her mouth with her hate crime and their crimes. It's like he's just lost and hurt. You know, we started talking. He was talking about he plays games online. I said, well, we need to talk about being online. I showed him a picture where a young kid killed himself for cyberbullying, sextortion. And I said, you got to be careful being online. People can get into your computer, hack it, turn on a camera, and they can get naked pictures of you. And if they do, I said what they do, like with this kid, they start bullying you, and these poor kids kill themselves. I said, you know what you do? If somebody ever says they took a naked picture of you, you tell them, I don't care. You start laughing. I said, you look at them and you say, I don't care. All boys look the same under their clothes. It's the same as all girls do. I don't care, and I'm telling the police on you. I said, your answer is, I don't care. If they say, oh, they're going to release it to all your friends, say, I don't care. I'm telling the police on you. I said, you stand up to the bullies. And they won't want to, and they'll threaten you with everything in the world. You know what you tell them? I don't care, I'm telling the police on you. And get offline. You stand up to them. I said, what are they going to do? Release it? Who cares? They're going to do it anyways. So you tell them, I don't care. What they do is they bully people into killing themselves or trying to extort money or anything else. I said there was a man called Andrew Durabic. I showed him the video and the news report of that Durabic up there. He had 7 victims, got naked pictures of him, tried to extort money, get him in trouble, start hate crime on the internet. He's in federal prison for 12 to 15 years. I said, you need to learn your rights. Where you learned them in high school, I said it's important you know them. Went over the right to privacy, that police and agencies only can be in a home under a threat of life with statements, a court order, without a conflict of interest. There is no such thing as special permission. I went over the right to remain quiet, a right to an attorney. You have a freedom of speech. No one can tell you can't say anything but a judge in a jury trial. The 14th Amendment, no one can take your money but due process of the law, and no judge can just sign it over. It takes set per documented injury. An impartial jury trial can only award a set amount. Don't ever let people scam you. They can steal everything you got because it's fraud. Start giggling. I said there's laws and more laws. You learn them. You can even Google things when people try to scam you. The cartel is scamming all kinds of people in this area. You need to learn the laws, and if anybody ever says anything to you, realize there's a law to back that they can't do it to you. Okay? Today, I worked overnight last night. This morning, one of the owners of the company showed up. I told you his sister is a sitting judge. He told me, he said, my sister has a security detail. That she's not allowed to left alone. She's not even allowed to leave the state alone. He said, I've even got people to call. They said the cartels are running scams even on judges. Oh, I told them that the ones that were hurting me are running a scam on a sitting judge, trying to frame him that he's part of the cartel and letting them getting away with crimes. He's like, you're kidding me. I said, no, and worse. He said, any of those bad people show up, I'll call my security team. He said they go in, they quietly take care of it, and the people are gone. See, that's what happened in 18 or 19. People would come at me, police would surround me, block me, scuffle, and you didn't see them again. They had a tendency of disappearing. Last night, outside my work, people were talking. We heard some lady pull up next to her real loud on speaker. Is that what they're doing to her? He said, yes. Saying she's still working on John, trying to get him to say something. And they're going on and on and on. Is that what they're doing to her? He said, yes. And all that stuff. Okay. Then I heard guys talking outside. He said, you know, those doctors from before, they think that they paid them off to kill her. The one with the medication errors, as the toxins slowly built up in her system, she slowly started swelling. Heart attacks, seizures. That church paid them off to kill her. See, that's what the investigators said a couple years ago. There's no way they didn't know they were killing her. And it took another doctor to tell them. With what's going on, we're afraid that church paid them off to try to kill her before. Well, that's what they were talking about last night. They think that they paid those doctors off to kill her years ago. Where she had all that swelling and the toxins slowly built up. That's why she was having seizures, heart attacks. And they were hoping, since they paid them off before to kill her, that one of them would say something. Because they've already, and it took another doctor to tell them it's a medication killing her. You know, I don't know who that lady is. You were the one with the May 30th, 25 Roseville Police from 1 a.m. You know where investigators said you're going to need to be arrested for interfering in an FBI case. You are not FBI. And you have to be part of Bill from the Freemason scam in that attorney's office where you're acting like you didn't know they were involved doing this. You have to be part of it. Because the FBI already interviewed my family in 18. Belden office. 2 young guys that remind you of my son Josh. interviewed them in 18. They spoke highly of me. So what would you be doing down there? What are you doing, offering them endless amount of money to back a roofie? So you can turn around and arrest him? You're never going to give him a dime? Tampering with witnesses, offering people money to commit perjury is a federal crime. I already turned you over to the DOJ. Where you're breaking, you're setting Melissa and Dixie up, offering them money, and soon as they put their name on it, you're going to hit them with every side. And you thought I was stupid? Wasn't stupid enough to confess to crimes outside my legally bugged car by the FBI and police. You're a moron. That you're committing entrapment. Where you thought I was so stupid I wouldn't know what surveillance laws? It's called Google Sweepy and common sense. And you were stupid being out there outside my apartment. FBI informant, there's a court order for the police to protect me and monitor and document everything every day. That includes you with those cops committing crimes. Saying they're not protecting an FBI informant with a court order? Defying a judge's order? And you saying you're railroading my family under fraud into jail? They talked about you a year ago that they were setting my kids up to be arrested. It's you, bitch. I turned you into the FBI, CIA, DOJ, and NSA for being part of the drug cartel. And interfering in an FBI case. And you're so dumb to brag right next to a legally bugged car by the FBI that you're trying to trick my family into being arrested by committing fraud. That you're offering them stuff. That's a federal crime. Tampering with witnesses. So why would you be down there messing with John when John spoke highly of me in 18 to the FBI? Trying to get people to commit perjury. To go along with the roofie. Because you still have to have medical proof. Documented by a doctor. Somebody was injured. Pictures of injuries. Police reports, police investigation proving it. You can't just roofie somebody, frame them, tell them to say something horrible, and then pay off a witness. I'll give you millions of dollars to verify the roofie. Morons. You're a bunch of the biggest retards I've ever seen in my life. You've took and done so much crack it's damaged your brain. Think I'm stupid? You're out there breaking crimes next to a legally bought car. See, the FBI interviewed my family in 18. They showed up at Walmart 62 because these people stole the login. That they had interviewed my whole family. They spoke highly of me. And they caught Melissa telling those kids a lie. And they were just trying to scare me into giving up my house. They were the FBI agents that yelled at you March 23rd, 23, told everyone to stay out of this. They interviewed my whole family a long time ago. No one's ever seen anything. She never hurt anyone. And it was just some lady who thought she could make money off of it. It's you, bitch. Trying to extort money under racketeering and attempted murder. Oh, I turned you into the DOJ, the CIA, FBI, sheriffs, NSA. And if I could think of any other government agency, I'd turn you into it too. I mean, playing with these morons. Bill from the Freemasons, big scam, drugging somebody up and telling them to say something horrible, photoshopping, washing in the shower in the other room, and a dirty doctor that's not one of yours works for them and they lie. You're such the fucking moron I've ever heard of. What a retarded scam. Need to smoke another something. Have another hallucination. Come up with another crack idea. Like, when I tell people what you did to me, it sounds like a whole bunch of crackheads did this to you, basically. An extortionist, they think they can drug people for fake confessions and Photoshop washing and stalking tapes. And steal from victims, and they've never been prosecuted. Never found guilty. But because they framed them in a sextortion act, cyberstalking act, racketeering scheme, they can just steal from a victim. You can't. You have to have documented injuries by an emergency room. Doctor has to verify it. Pictures of injuries. Police report. Police investigation. Physical evidence the person did it to you or the animal. You know, like a rag dog bite. I had to have a dog warden on this thing too. I had to have physical evidence, not witnesses. Because you can pay them off like that crazy bitch. Offering people millions of dollars, and she's not going to give them a dime. She's just tricking them. It's a big trick. For everything is a lie. For everything is a trap. If you don't do the right thing, you'll end up in jail for it. Anybody stupid enough to put their name on this will go to jail for this. Warnings of 19. These people have confessed to heinous crimes. That's evil. These people are nothing but pure evil. I'd like to know why Melissa's not in jail. You know, Officer Mark had pity on her in 18. Because if you have your kids lost states, and it comes down to lost states, if you have their kids pretend something and nothing ever happened to them, and you pretend they're harmed to scare somebody out of something, try to extort money or things from them on a lie. It's extortion under child abuse. Because you're emotionally traumatizing them, putting a stigma on them and pressure on them to lie, and you're interfering in their little lives of growing up normal and healthy. You're to lose your children. Him saying, writing it up, they were just showing off for David and his new girlfriend. She should have went to jail for 20 years. That's where she didn't make up her shit until they thought they got rid of the FBI. That's why Agent John didn't mention it. He made fun of me for that guy Pete Howie's framing me as some dirty doctor, and it didn't make any sense, and I thought it was other lady's doctor. Here, no, it's just a scam. That used my insurance. I thought it was Dave's girlfriend. My whole marriage was a scam. I had chest pains for days. To realize you've been scammed your whole marriage. From him and his girlfriends. Running up medical bills in my name, sticking me with copays. Half my medical records are some ladies. Here's his girlfriend. One of them. See, you never mentioned Melissa. Because they didn't make it up till after the case. For Melissa's so stupid, she made everything up when you were fishing with Dave. She's actually that stupid. She didn't check where you were. FBI calls her stupid. Trying this in front of him. Officer John is, I found out through this Dark County Sheriff, says not an officer. His name's not John. He's an FBI agent. Stopped men at the door January 12th, 22, where those kids get taped stating they made everything up. They were games of pretend, and they wanted the house for anti-shell and Melissa got tape telling them to lie, and they're documenting mean jokes by the FBI and police in an FBI case. That's where an investigator even told an agent a couple weeks out in Alliance. It was sick, her whole family sitting around laughing, making up stuff on her behind her back. They were all just sitting around laughing about it. Nobody went to the hospital. There's no pictures of injuries. There's no No police were called. They were already there taping them, saying they're lying, laughing. How they're going to scare me out of my house. I'm lying. That's where, that idiot in my old apartment, we thought they could just say something and steal our car. We didn't know there had to be proof. It's because you're a retard. See what I mean? And it's just like where they drugged me, where I took a drink out of a drinker, woke up with injection marks in the room and go dizzy and black. And Bruce was throwing up. In fact, they lied. They had sodium pentothal reports. And it's Valium. They found out Valium mixed with a bunch of other drugs to make you sleepwalk. Or date rape drugs that make you sleepwalk. The drugs then told us horrible stuff. They had to tell me what they did. I thought the well water was giving me cancer. Never seen or talked to anybody. It's a drug scam. I never even had my neighbors in my home. You talk about scary shit of predators preying on you. It's not even funny. Breaking in private homes, wait until you leave the room. You don't know they're in the home. Running the rooms, put something in your drink, go back out. And you didn't even know they were there. You could drink the room, go dizzy and black, or wake up with injection marks. Bruises throwing up, heart racing, infected, almost passing out, not knowing what's wrong with you. Severely infected, going to the doctor. Losing massive amount of time, don't know what happened to you. You're being drugged and told to say stuff. Photoshopped washing in the shower. Being beaten, raped in your own home by a rapist. Human trafficking. That attorney's office human trafficked me. People were laughing at me 2 Saturdays ago in Circle Restaurant in Deerfield. Men, how that attorney's office, they all know they drugged me and told me to say it before. And the attorney was taking payoff from men to rape me. Well, they talked about him in 19 that somebody was taking a payoff to let him rape me. Where in Rural King on June 25th, 25 in New Philadelphia. That some attorney's office thought they could have her drugged for fake confessions, photoshopped and framed on their own, and have her drugged, beaten, raped. It was just some attorney's office. Why haven't you arrested him? They've been framing Ludick. So what do you have against Ludick, a Christian judge? Trying to frame him for being part of the cartel. What do you have against a divorce judge? See, that's where it doesn't make any sense. He's a Christian divorce judge. What do you have against Chief Bruce Lewinsky? Melissa said that he gave them special permission to drug, beat, and rape me. No, he didn't. Ludick don't help the human traffickers get away with crime. He's a Christian judge. What do you have against those 2 men? What do you have against a divorce judge and the chief of police? That attorney's office. What do you got against him? Framing him for the feds to arrest him. What do you have against him? Where they said in 18 they were using me as a pawn. A pawn is a scam. Huh? What do you got against him? I want you to think about that. By the way, Judge Ludick, I'm trying. And Bruce Lewinsky want that attorney's office arrested so everybody's safe. Getting tired of them framing you. Like the investigator said, they've been framing everybody for this. You know, men outside where I was working when they were saying, also of those doctors from before with the medication errors, they think that they paid him off to kill her, that church. And that's why it took another doctor's office to tell them they were killing her with the medication. That those doctors took a payoff and they paid them off to kill her. It was the toxins building from the medication, making her swell up. Heart attacks, seizures. She was dying. And see, that's where they said a few years ago. Those doctors from before, there's no way they didn't know they weren't killing me. Everything's swelling up and shutting down. It took another doctor to tell them. And they were wondering if they took a payoff. See, that's where that guy said. Those doctors from before, they think that they paid them off to kill her. And it was the toxins from the medication slowly building, giving her heart attacks, seizures. And she was dying, and it took another doctor's office to tell on them. And we think that they thought the ones they paid off to kill her before would be dumb enough to open their mouth, and that they would write up fraud. See where you think FBI is stupid? Where you mocked Agent John for falling for this? Where you made fun of everyone else for falling for this? They're not dumb. See, an attorney's office knows the right to privacy. They know it'd be considered cyberstalking and sextortion, voyeurism tapes. They know that President Nixon, Watergate, got impeached for bucking an office. You can't break the right of privacy. Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life, with statements, with a court order, without a conflict of interest. There's nothing else. They also know HIPAA violations and Privacy Acts. See, that's where these people are just running around acting like crackheads and retards. Oh, we can do this. No, you can't. You can't do shit. You just look like a bunch of fucking morons. Oh, we got a court order signed from a judge signing everything she's got orders. There's no such thing. See, they're trying to get Ludick arrested. There is no such thing, nor did he sign it. You can only be awarded in an impartial jury trial per injury, a set amount. And you have to be found guilty. No money, no assets seized, but due process of law. You can't just have a dirty attorney and a dirty judge working together. You ought to all go to federal prison, you morons. See, where that lady said, oh, she was down there talking to John, trying to get stuff out of him. The guy heard that lady pull up in the car and put a sign in front of speakers. Is that what they're doing? He said, yeah, and they yell stuff at her. You know, some people can't be bought. And you run around offering them millions of dollars, an endless amount of money, to trick them into putting their name on a drug scam, so you can turn around and arrest them like you braked outside on May 30th, 25. That you're, like they said, you're interfering in an FBI case. The FBI already interviewed them in 18. So what the fuck are you doing? You're not FBI. And you're interfering in an FBI case. They spoke highly of me. Every one of them did. And Melissa's kids got caught state saying that they were lying, and Melissa telling them to lie. They were like Officer Mark said, he wrote it up, they were showing off with a new girlfriend. They let Melissa go. They were kind. It won't happen again. There's not going to be pity at this point. They're documenting me games to pretend as a Muslim, they said. Stark County Sheriffs. Carroll County. You can't just make up something. Nobody goes to the hospital. There's no pictures of injuries. No police were called. No police investigation. No prosecution. And how many towns and how many states have they mentioned that they taped that girl saying, telling those kids a lie, and they stated they were lying for the girlfriend to get the house, and they were games of pretend. FBI, sheriffs, police. Nobody went to the hospital. There was no injuries. They were sitting around laughing, making up stuff. They're documenting mean jokes. My whole family spoke highly of me to the FBI. So what is your problem that you're interfering? What is your problem, bitch? Bill from the Freemasons wannabe? Huh? Part of that attorney's office running scams on people? Thinking you interfere in an FBI case? Oh, we'll have him back to roofie. You go to jail as an accessory. You have to have physical proof, honey. And like some guy told some guy outside on July 4th, 25, her kids' pediatrician said the kids were well taken care of and there was no sign of any abuse ever. And they were very well taken care of. Oh, that don't mean anything. He said, yeah, it does. It means everything. Exactly. You can't just roofie somebody, tell them say something horrible and say, hey, I'll back the roofie for $1 million. You go to jail together. You have to have documented doctor's proof. Police investigation. Physical evidence. You cannot just roofie somebody. Your Valium mixed with a bunch of other drugs or cocktail drugs they found that they used on me. They're fake sodium pentothal reports to make people sleepwalk. Is a cocktail of drugs they found out in August of 19. Working at Ohio Catholic Bank at a drug test. They're still breaking in and stabbing me at night, laughing at me. Okay? Go upstairs. The manager was complaining she had so many drugs in her system, it would have knocked out a horse. Valium mixed with da-da-da-da-da. We're not allowed to say a word to her. She's helping the FBI with the case. It's a cocktail of drugs. Valium alone will make you sleepwalk in a high dose. 10 to 20 prescription drugs without the legal ones that make you sleepwalk, like LSD, ketamine. Valium's one of them, and a whole list of the prescription drugs in high doses will make you sleepwalk. These people roofied a U.S. Marshals kid twice. She don't know what happened to her. My neighbor Mike, my coworker Dar. They're drugging people up in their homes and in businesses. They're playing with people. See, that's where the owner of the company said that where his boss is a sitting judge in Ohio. He said the cartel's running scams now, even on judges. Yeah. He said there's some really bad people in here in Ohio and they're dangerous. Yeah. I'm gonna upload this.